Let's talk about social media planning for 2025. For a lot of us, the word that comes to mind is chaos, right? That constant last-minute scramble to figure out what to post. But what if you could flip that script? What if you could turn all that chaos into a powerful strategic advantage? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. How to build a social media calendar that puts you back in the driver's seat. So does this feel familiar? You're constantly reacting to what's trending instead of, setting the conversation yourself. You're always scrambling for content, always feeling like you're one step behind. That's the cycle of reactive social media. And trust me, you are not alone. The way out is a strategic content calendar. It's the key to getting organized, becoming proactive, and finally getting ahead of the game.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the big challenge for 2025, then get into how to pick your platforms. From there, we'll dive into 6 key strategies for getting the best return on your investment, look at some tools for efficient planning, and then wrap it all up with the huge strategic advantage this gives you.
All right, section 1, let's set the stage. Why is getting this right in 2025 more important than ever before? It really boils down to this fundamental truth. You have to stay on top of trends and be consistent. The whole landscape is always shifting. New algorithms, different audience expectations, you name it. A plan is what gives you that consistency. It's like your anchor in a really fast-moving river, making sure you stay relevant no matter what changes come your way. Okay, so before you can even think about planning a single post, you've got to build the foundation. And that means choosing where you're even going to show up. You look at this list, and the temptation is to try and be everywhere at once. But that is a fast track to burnout. The real strategy isn't about mastering all of these. It's about focusing your energy and asking one simple question. Where are the people I want to reach actually spending their time? That answer? That's your North Star. And that's because one size never, ever fits all. Think about it. A B2B tech company posting on LinkedIn at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, they're talking to a completely different person in a different mindset than a fashion brand posting on Instagram on a Friday night. You have to know the unique rhythm of your industry to actually make an impact. All right, so you've picked your platforms. Now for the fun part. How do you actually win on them? This next section is really the heart of our explainer. These are the 6 core strategies that are going to drive your return on investment in 2025. This is your blueprint for success. 6. That's the magic number. Forget trying to juggle 100 different tactics. If you focus on these 6 core strategies, you're going to get the best possible return on your time. So let's dive into number 1. First up is hyper-personalization. In 2025, generic, one-size-fits-all content is basically invisible. Your audience expects you to get them. Using AI to analyze behavior lets you deliver stuff that feels less like a billboard and more like a one-on-one conversation. And it's not about being creepy, it's about being genuinely relevant and building a real connection. Next, it's no surprise that short-form video is still king. The challenge now isn't just about making a video. It's about delivering real value, a quick tip, a great story, a little bit of entertainment in just a few seconds. In a world of infinite scrolling, attention is the real currency, and this is how you earn it. That line between just scrolling and actually shopping is basically gone. Strategy number 3 is all about embracing social commerce. By using things like shoppable posts or live shopping events, you remove all the friction. You shrink that journey from, oh, I love that, to it's on its way, into just a couple of taps. Right there in the app. Strategy 4 is about thinking a little smaller to get much bigger results. Instead of chasing these huge celebrities, smart brands are partnering with niche and micro-influencers. Why? Well, because these creators have incredibly loyal, super engaged communities. A recommendation from them feels less like a paid ad and more like getting advice from a trusted friend, which delivers a way better return. So, we touched on AI for personalization, but its power goes way beyond that. Seriously, think of AI as your strategic co-pilot. It's analyzing trends, automating your schedules, handling customer questions with chatbots, and fine-tuning your ad spend with unbelievable precision. It's the engine that does all the heavy lifting so you can focus on the big picture. And our 6th and final strategy. This one goes beyond just broadcasting a message. It's about building a real community. People want to feel connected to brands, not just marketed to. So by creating spaces like private groups or forums, you're encouraging real interaction. And that's how you build deep, lasting loyalty and turn your customers into your most passionate advocates. So those are the 6 big strategies. But how do you actually execute all of this without completely burning out? Well, that's where efficient planning and the right tools come in. Let's open up the toolkit. This 4-step process is basically your recipe for efficiency. You batch create your content in these focused time blocks, you organize it using cohesive themes, and then you automate the posting. This whole system feeds into your main content calendar, and most importantly, it frees you from that daily grind so you can focus on strategy and engagement. And here are the kinds of tools that make that whole workflow possible. You'll need management platforms like a Buffer or a Hootsuite for all your scheduling. You need design tools like Canva to make great-looking visuals. And of course, you need analytics tools to actually measure what's working and what's not. Just think of this as your essential tech stack for turning your strategy into reality. Okay, we've covered the why, the where, the what, and the how. So let's bring it all home. When you finally commit to this kind of planned, strategic calendar, what's the big payoff? What's the real advantage? Hey, remember that reactive chaos we talked about right at the beginning? This is the antidote. This is the cure. You gain consistency, which builds trust with your audience. You become so much more time efficient. Your whole team gets on the same page. And suddenly, every single post you make has a purpose. This is how social media transforms from a daily chore into your most powerful engine for growth. So I'll leave you with this one last crucial thought. Having a plan is absolutely essential, but being rigid, that's a recipe for failure. The ultimate skill is having a strong plan, but also building in the flexibility to adopt, to test, and to evolve. Your calendar should be a living document, not something carved in stone, because being ready to change is what will truly set you up for success in 2025. And that's today's explainer.